music video for that song is something wild. It's interesting. Gracie 3 by Jerry Paper, if you want to check it out. Anyway, welcome to the stream. How's it going, everybody? We are going to get back into Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, the 2002 game by Vivendi. And this has been an interesting game so far. I have enjoyed it. It's a, as the kids would say, a jank game. But I don't know, something about it. There's this particular charm with it that I think is quite nice. And it adapts some things from the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring novel that we haven't even seen in, like the big Hollywood movies. So there's been some interesting stuff, some unique things about it. Got a decent little roster of talent, too. I mean, it doesn't have the Hollywood actors or anything like that, but, we've got some decent names in the voice acting community. We've heard from James Arnold Taylor and Quentin Flynn and... trying to think of Jennifer Hale. I'd lost her name for a second, but yeah, it's got a decent little cast in it. So, it's been like okay to better than okay in a lot of factors. But we're gonna get back into it. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of the game left, so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. If I end up finishing it in relatively quick fashion, I think we will probably start up something new tonight, but we'll see how it goes. Still a couple days away, unless there's a midnight release, then, we're about 24 hours away from the Tomb Raider Remastered editions launching, so I will be checking that out, at least a bit on stream. So that could be our next stream, but for now we're looking at finishing this, and again, if I finish it relatively quick, we might start up something new. Who knows? Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's just... Okay. The controller isn't working. That's interesting. Hold on, give me a sec. Let me plug it and plug it back in. I was using the fat PS2 because I was trying to play a game on the slim one that I usually stream off of, but for whatever reason, it wasn't reading the disc. Every time the slim PS2 can't read a disc, the fat one can. I don't know why. And then vice versa. It's like sometimes I'll switch over. You might think, well, why not just play off of the fat one full time? Well, because then the opposite happens. And sometimes I'll be trying to play a game and, the fat one won't read it, and then I'll plug it into the slim, and voila, there it goes. It's easy to be read. And I find that the slim actually reads discs easier than the fat one, or more often it does. But I don't know. Damn things are finicky. There we go. Alright. Let's just continue where we left off. We should have gotten right into the Mines of Moria. I did not progress any further than that, so we just got past the door. We fought the monster of the lake and got right into the entrance here, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so we're back to playing as Gandalf. We were kind of playing as him before, and then as soon as the lake monster attacked, then we switched over to Aragorn, super quickly. And attacked the tentacles of the lake monster, but then we switch right back to Gandalf, I see. Gimli's here, so that's nice. Haven't really seen a whole lot of him. Got potions. We've got our fiery blast, staff strike. I gotta remind myself what kind of spells we have. Not too many. There's not too many things going on here. Game hit a bit of a hiccup there. Oh, Gimli, come on. He got in the way. I think I actually have to heal myself. Gimli once again getting in my way. He wants to eat all that fire. I guess that's fine by me. Seems to be the best combo. Unless I'm really getting swarmed by enemies, which every once in a while that happens, then I'll use like the ground shake one or the lightning. But the lightning takes a sec to actually cast. And then the ground one, I think it just costs an assload of MP, so I'd rather just use the fiery blast, knock them on their ass, and then run up and stab them with the staff. Knock them on their ass, stab them with the staff. Can't hit me. I'm in the middle of a attack animation. I was like, why are these skeletons so small? But I think maybe it's got something to do with this might be the dwarves. I guess it could be hobbits or something, but I doubt it. Alright, got another potion. What the hell? The camera working against me. Let me see. Okay, staff strike is 25, lightning is 15. See, the lightning strike is really good and it kills them like immediately, but problem with it is that it takes like a second longer to cast than the other spells. No orc alive. See, I was starting to wonder if Gandalf could even eat other foods, but we picked up a couple of lambus and some cram, so I guess he can, but yeah, that first level that we were working with him on, that did not seem to drop a lot of actual health items. Whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, is it? It eats magic. I guess in some respects, yeah. This is just a bridge. It'd be nice if you could see the other, members of the Fellowship in the level. Pretty sweet. They could do it with the hobbits. I guess maybe the hobbits are, I don't know, less demanding on the game. Because we had up to 4 hobbits, including the player character on the screen, but anybody else, any of these other party members or anything, it just didn't seem to want to work out so well. Let's heal. low on magic. Gandalf is so tall I can't see like what's ahead of me. Thank you for the cram. Damn, those orcs can hit from pretty far out. That guy was getting me from like the edge of the map, or at least what's renderable. Good job, Gimli. Keep them at bay. More potion. Better check the other side. I remember aspects of this level. I feel like I remember there being like these big blocks you needed to push. This is the way we need to go, actually. And I remember Gandalf being the one that could do it, but that seems to be the only thing I can actually recall from these levels. Not really much else. And I don't even remember like what happens after this. I mean, obviously, you know, the events of the book and everything would probably have to happen, but I don't know if we actually get the chance to like fight on the bridge of Khazad-dûm, or if there's like a segment after that, or if we could do some character switching. And then I was taking a quick look at a guide just to see what levels were left. It seems like the mines here took up most of it. There's a couple levels after this that didn't seem to have as many like sub-chapters in it, so I don't know. I imagine it's not a terribly long game. I mentioned this when we began this stream yesterday, but you know, I usually take to looking at how long to beat these days just to see how, you know, give myself an average about how long it's going to take me to finish this game on stream. Usually I'm at about the average time. Sometimes a little bit under, but usually I'm at whatever the average is. And the average for most people, not doing all the extra bits, which we kind of did at first, and then I died and I didn't realize that there was no autosave. So then I ended up skipping all the side quests and everything. But yeah, without doing all the side bits, average time I think it was about 5.5 hours. Seemed to be the ticket there. Just Gandalf and Gimli on the elevator. Nobody else. Oh, no, don't put that sword away, not yet. Make a save. Ooh, Troll Shaws. That's actually been a while since we last played there. So I actually plugged in the other Lord of the Rings game I have. Actually, I got a couple. I'm pretty sure I still have War in the North. That game, much like this game, that game was like bordering on shitty, but there was something about it that I liked. And again, it was another one of those games where it's like every once in a while I'll be playing something else, and then something reminds me specifically of Lord of the Rings War in the North. I don't know why. It wasn't like, and I don't even think I liked it as much as I like this game, but something about it, I've got like relatively fond memories with it. So just one of those things. But yeah, Yeah, I've got a handful of Lord of the Rings games, but specifically on the PS2, the other one I have is the Two Towers game. And I was playing it. I don't love that game. It might be a case of like me being under-leveled because I was starting it from the beginning. And it's one of those. It's like an action-oriented game where you unlock combos and stuff as you progress, but the control scheme, I don't think it's fun. I don't like it. Nope, out of magic. But yeah, something about the control scheme and just like the combos and stuff. A lot of times, like weapons and certain combos don't work. You know, this doesn't happen with a lot of other games. Played other action-oriented games on the PS2, such as the Devil May Cry series. Granted, the first one, I wasn't too fond of the North American control scheme that I had to suffer through when I streamed that game. But that aside, you know, I played the other two Devil May Crys. Didn't have a problem with the combos. Didn't have a problem with weapons not registering. For whatever reason, happens all the time with Two Towers. It gets relatively frustrating. Not a fan of it. But yeah, sometimes I'll be pulling out my ranged weapon or whatever. It takes a good second before it actually pops up. And certain combos that I try to use, either I end up getting interrupted or something else happens. There's also a single dodge button, but the dodge is for like dodging back. It's not to look to the side or anything. You can't control where you dodge. And just like the button layout, it's I wouldn't call it completely unintuitive, but something about it I don't like. It's one of those one of those games where all the face buttons like have a action command. There's like nothing else you could do. It's like X is fast attack and triangle's heavy attack and square is parry and circle is like a knockdown or something like that. And yeah, just something about that control scheme and everything, not a big fan of. But that aside, I did play through a couple levels, and you know, it was interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna stream it. Maybe I'm still in the mood for some Lord of the Rings stuff. But I would be kind of curious to see Return of the King. Apparently, it's a similar type of gameplay where it's much more action oriented, but there's I hear more adventure elements to it, which I think I would prefer. I don't know if the level structure changed. How it goes, like, it's just like a very small set of levels. And you just, like, pick one and enter your scenario and then just fight, like, waves and legions of enemies. And, you know, it's kind of cool to play out, like, the movie battles and everything, and I think they cover all the major stuff from Fellowship, but I don't know, maybe it's just not my type of game, coupled with the fact that I don't really like the control scheme. But yeah, that aside, I think I would be sort of interested in seeing what Return of the King is like. I'll get it on Xbox or something, rip it to the hard drive. It might be a little more enjoyable with an Xbox controller. I can't say 100% for sure until I actually try it, though. What's going on here, then? Tell when they're like fully dead.
The hobbits need rest, Gandalf. This seems like a sound place to camp.
I agree. This is as good a place as any nearby.
Very well, Gimli. We shall camp here, but not for long. Orcs are on the prowl.
Orcs are on the prowl. They're prowling about. This isn't the, who was it, Balin? It's a giant hole that I guess could substitute for a well. This still seems fun, this game. Yeah, I mean, again, it's got weird little oddities about it. It's not a perfect game by any means, but I still find it fun. And even though there's like not a lot of extra shit to do or anything like that, there's still, the action adventure format, like these big sprawling levels and stuff, I think is still pretty good. And I find this type of game and atmosphere more enjoyable than the EA stuff, at least as far as the Two Towers is concerned. There are other Lord of the Rings games too. I think, I don't know a lot of Tolkien fans are upset with the Middle Earth games, but those are actually probably my favorite. And I know people are sick also of the Warner Brothers video game, like combat style, which was pioneered by the Arkham games, but I still enjoy that to an extent. I don't want every single game I have to use that exact same combat style, but I thought he was about to walk across that. I'm like, Gimli, what the hell? I'm like, I don't have a jump mechanic. But I still find it a satisfying form of combat. That coupled with the, it kind of took some nods from like Assassin's Creed as well. I guess you could say it took some nods from Arkham with its whole stealth-oriented thing, but there's a bit of stealth going on with that game, and there is kind of like this assassination sort of style to it that I enjoyed. But I really enjoyed that first one. What is it? Shadow of Mordor. And then, that was kind of a little bit more cloistered and smaller scale. And I found that game really, really fun. And then Shadow of War came out. And while I didn't like kind of how broad it got, it was... This is another one of those open world games, and sometimes I feel I get bored with open world stuff, and it becomes a little bit too big. But I still liked a lot of the game mechanics with that one.
I'm not certain, but I think something is following us, quietly, in the dark.
Golem. The precious. Split-second snap zoom to sort of emphasize it. Old Golem. God, I forgot, speaking of Lord of the Rings games, I forgot about that Golem game. It was such a goddamn disaster. Oh, man. There was a couple people I knew that streamed it too, just, for shits and giggles, but I didn't watch it. I was like, that's a shame. I wasn't exactly looking forward to that game or anything, but, that had been reported on for so long, and the early footage that they had shown of it, I think that was from like an E3 or something like that, and it looked like it could be fairly interesting. So maybe down the road, if it was actually good, I probably would have checked it out at some point, but yeah, this just ended up being a goddamn wreck. Who made that? Was that Daedalic? They did the Deponia games. I heard that they shut down or something. I heard that there was like some repercussions for the studio. Maybe they just published it or something. I'll go to Cave Troll. Slightly different troll than the one we've seen before. Also, Gimli seems to be just stopping his advance, so that's good. Thanks, Gimli. Still took like 4 of those electric things. It's gonna be a bit of a bitch if I have to confront one without Gimli's help stopping his advance. Oh, I thought that was a bucket for a second. I didn't even register it as being a switch. Is that the bridge that we passed like a ways back? Hopefully not, because I don't I don't remember exactly where that was. I don't want to go all the way back there. Maybe it's out this way. Let's hope. Well, number of items here. Got some cram and a couple potions, but doesn't look like this is the way to go. I think we do need to go back all that way to wherever that bridge gap was. And that was a ways back. No map or anything. Double check and make sure I got everything too, because since I almost ended up missing that switch, it makes me wonder if there was another switch somewhere that I might have missed. Yeah, I'm gonna make another save. Might not get so lucky with cave troll or something if I end up having to reload. But yeah, outside of Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, which I think I probably like the best. God, Shadow of War too had that what did they call it? It was like a rival mechanic where, you know, you'd get into like these duels with certain orcs and stuff, and they'd come back at you like after you defeat them. They wouldn't always die, and then sometimes they'd come back and, you know, they'd have the limb missing that you cut off in your previous encounter, and they upgraded themselves with like, you know, like a prosthetic or something like that. It was a really neat system that kept like a form of continuity going. But I don't know if WB, I think they have the copyright on that. I don't know if they ended up ever using that for another game. Be nice if they employ that game mechanic in something else, though. Be interesting to see. This might be the bridge. I don't know for certain. Oh. But I'm trying to think back to that War in the North game. It almost looks like I was playing as Gimli for a second. I think that's the only other Lord of the Rings game that I actually own. Pretty sure. Unless again, there is a grip of games that I got rid of. I ended up selling a handful of stuff to a local game shop. If I don't have it, because I had the PS3 version. If I don't have it on PS3, I might just maybe have it on Steam, because I know there's a couple times where I've gotten like these humble bundles where I got a bunch of games included, so I might have the Steam version if I ever wanted to go back and check that game out. But regardless, I'm trying to think of what kind of game that copied, because it was a copy of something. It sort of reminded me of like Dragon Age Origins, but maybe only in like look and style. I think the gameplay was different, because Dragon Age Origins was like an action RPG, but you still had like the pause and, you know, RPG mechanics, select your move and all that kind of stuff. So there was that aspect to it, to Dragon Age, that I don't think was part of War in the North. War in the North, I think, was mostly action oriented. Where you could choose your character at the beginning of the game, and you had a choice between three. There was a ranger, like not Aragorn. There was an elf woman, and then there was a dwarf. So you got all your principal races from Middle Earth taken care of. But yeah, they each had their own like little gameplay style, and it was more action oriented. It had an original story. I actually didn't have anything to do with, I don't think, the One Ring. I don't even know when it was supposed to take place. I think it was its own original thing, much like the Shadow of Mordor or the Middle Earth series was. But, damn it, get away from me. I think you actually end up taking on Sauron at the end. He like had like another form or something. I don't know. It was weird. It went places where I didn't think it was going to go. But in terms of story. But it also had some interesting like locales and stuff. I remember like it going to several different places that I thought were kind of neat. Oh. No wonder I'm out of magic. Trying to cast some spells here.
This looks like a good place to rest. Stay away from that well, though.
Who knows what is swimming around down there, looking for a meal?
Well, you're a small catch, Sam. It would probably throw you back.
Pippin, that's not a good idea.
Fool of a took. Throw
Fool of
yourself
a
in
took.
next time, and we'll be done with you.
Listen, what's that sound?
It sounds like a hammer. Someone down there is sending signals.
We'll need to move on, and soon, before the orcs come.
Fool of a tool. I don't think that's quite it. Fool of a tool. I guess the Tooks might be tools, might be a family of tools. Periodic Brandybuck and Peregrine Took. Whoa. Bringing on the numbers game, huh? Wrong one. Quite the big fight in the sarcophagus room, but there's a lot more enemies now.
The exit draws near. Soon the Mines of Moria will be safely behind us.
I hope you're right.
As do I. I grow weary of this place. It is so cold and dark. Where are we exactly, Mr. Gandalf?
I believe we're in the upper halls, perhaps the 20th or 21st. They've been well looted and of little interest to the orcs.
They prefer the lower levels, despite the shadow of fear that covers them.
Fear of what?
Durin's Bane, a dark creature unleashed long ago by dwarves seeking mithril. They delve too greedily and too deep.
Enough talk of the past. It is the present that concerns me. Do we rest or move on?
I don't think we have a choice. Cave trolls!
Oh shit.
You'll have to handle the trolls. I'll find a way to get us out of here.
For the
At least skip the cutscene. Now look, now all the party members are here. I was trying to pause. Ended up skipping, I guess, the cutscene of the trolls coming through or something. I don't know. Gandalf's gotta find the way out. remember if the Balrog is something that we fight, though. Hopefully. I want to see it. I want to see their adaptation. I think to this day, I still prefer the Peter Jackson rendition. It's probably the best looking Balrog. A lot of times I see it and it's kind of like more traditional, like devilish looking, which I don't really like. I remember in the Bakshi film, it kind of looked like a cow or something. It's like this big cow man. Didn't it look something weird like that? I don't know, like a minotaur almost. Maybe a bull is more like what it was. But whatever it was, or whatever it looked like, I didn't really like it all that much. I think the Peter Jackson version probably looked the most interesting, most unique. Oh, okay, here's where the block pushing came in. See, I knew it was something like that. Cave trolls just like die. Oh, that's handy. Just drop dead once we open the door. This is where we're supposed to go, right? Oh, here it is.
The book is a record of Balin's time in Moria. I fear the tidings are grim indeed. They met with early fortune, driving out a host of goblins. Then they discovered Mithril, the riches of Moria. It goes on to tell of Balin's death, an attack by orcs. Slowly but surely, the dwarves were driven back and trapped. The last lines read, "We cannot get out. The end comes. Drums, drums in the deep. They are coming." They made their last stand here. The effort to retake Moria was valiant, but foolish. We should be moving on.
Probably. Not as dramatic as Ian McKellen's rendition. Oh my God, here they all come. You know, what's the point of the loading bar?
Frodo,
It doesn't even
I
load things
fear
up
the
fully.
enemy is near. I will slay the foul beasts with my axe should they attack. Let us pass through this hall and find the others on the other side.
I will do my best to offer my assistance.
Let's play as Frodo now. All right. Doesn't seem like a good idea, but okay. I wonder if Sting glows.
The door there. It must lead into the hall. There must be a way to open it.
Oh yeah, it kind of does. Like just a bit. This might not be a good idea. Fine male shirt made of mithril, strongest and most precious metal in Middle Earth. I'm surprised that's like an actual item. the door, but I need something on that. Is there something hanging above this? Be a good idea if I, like, don't attack at all. Damn, Frodo. Pushing that giant thing. Probably gonna die if I just drop off there, so I'm not willing to take the chance. We've seen that there can be fall damage. Got this, Gimli. You're outnumbered like 8-1, but you got this. Okay, they've shown that door a couple times, but I got no clue where it is. There's a bridge over there. Yeah, I guess I can get over there. Nice. See, I helped. I took care of a couple of them.
Frodo!
Coming this way.
Bridge needs to be crossed!
Yeah, that it does. How to go about doing that, though, I don't know. Oh, is that a switch? Yeah, it is. You'd think it, I mean, it's like appropriately sized for Frodo, which is kind of funny. You'd think it'd be as big as the ones that, Gandalf had to pull. Come on, Gimli, no time to waste. Double team. That was a delayed reaction. Worried I'm going to be pushed off one of these ledges.
Another bridge to be crossed! The switch! I see it on the other side! You must get to the switch, Master Frodo, so that I may cross!
Come on, you can't jump that? Bet if you tried really hard, you could. I like the look of this. Look at, okay, there's a ladder over there. Jesus. Look how tall this is. I mean, maybe it seems bigger. No, it's still pretty damn big. I was like, maybe it seems bigger because we're a hobbit, but, you know, I don't think the rungs on the ladder would change. I'm gonna save. I'm getting antsy. Not confident. Oh shit. I took my eyes off the meter for like a second. Good thing I saved. Second too long. I thought I had enough time to at least like slip by him or slip around the corner. But nope. I'm just gonna see if I can run past them. I mean, by the time I get to the ladder and like start climbing down, it looks like they're running with me. Come on, lads. All right, here we go. Health versus the mushrooms of 10. How do I get on the ladder? Oh shit. Well, that was shitty. I tried pressing the action button. I tried like walking up to it and it didn't work. I was trying to approach from the side, but I ended up just slipping off. Look, I could kind of push him back. Oh shit. Invisible wall keeps him on top. I'm wondering if because the enemy marker, the enemy like view marker was up, if that like prevented me from getting on. So I'm thinking of just like killing these guys. Eat a handful of mushrooms. Marker is yellow as if somebody can see me, but I'll make a save in front of the ladder. For whatever reason, I don't know why he can't get on it. I think I'm pushing the action button while I'm moving. That might have something to do with it, perhaps. Whoa! See, that's what I was always afraid of was going to happen in all the moments leading up to this. This is the most challenging part of the game so far. And why can they knock me off, but I can't do the same to them? Seems unfair. are you looking? Okay, I'm just going to stand without pushing any of the analog sticks or anything in front of the ladder. Not doing it. I'm going to save the goddamn game. Because I do not want to fall and then have to fight those orcs again. You would think you would just walk up to it, unless there's something like super finicky about it, but that's how you start climbing the ladder. You just have to walk up to the thing. But, you know, I walk too much and he like slips off. I was going to say I'm about like 2 seconds away from looking at a long play of this to see what somebody does, but I think I'm just going to do that anyway. Look at my own game. Let's see, Lord of the Rings 2002 long play. Nope. Nope, not two towers. Not two towers. Okay. I pulled it up like almost exactly. Okay, so I'm like right. So I see him moving across the bridge. Basically, he's just trying to outrun the orcs. He skipped the cram. Not going after the cram. Okay, he approaches it. Maybe I haven't tried this. He approaches it from this side, and he just like walked up to it. There he goes. Okay. So I was just like doing it from the wrong side, I guess. I tried it from the other side, and I tried it from behind, but not that one particular side. The action button didn't work. Nothing. Just have to approach it from that one side, one very specific point. I figured if I approached it from one side, it would work on the other, you know, just as well. So I didn't think that there'd be any, like, major difference between the two. Come on, Gimli. Go take care of him. I hear an assload of something. Unfortunately, I got nothing that can, like, help you. I could try to attack. There we go.
Durin's bane has come! To arms! Gondor!
Go across the bridge of Khazad-dûm. This is a foe beyond any of you. I must face the Balrog alone. I am a servant of the secret fire.
Looks a little weird.
Wielder of the flame of Anor. You cannot pass.
Ow. I don't know. I I don't know if like the fiery blast is gonna help me in this particular instance. Maybe not. What if the staff strike will work? Oh shit. I didn't even realize my health bar was going down that fast. Ah, damn it. Well, it puts us 2 seconds behind, but whatever. I guess more like 2 minutes, but... I think he lit me on fire. Hey, what's up, Jubei? The special edition version, that's where that would have happened. Those are extended copies. Been thinking about rewatching the movies. I've got the Blu-rays, but I think with the Blu-ray editions, they don't have like the theatrical versions. You can't like find the theatrical versions anywhere now. I don't know what the big idea is, but like I don't really want the extended version. I mean, it's nice. The extended version scenes are okay. You know, I think they fit relatively well and seamlessly, unlike some other like deleted scenes for movies. But and there's some stuff I like I like seeing the petrified trolls. Somewhere, I forget where that was exactly. I think it's when like Frodo and the gang are coming out of the Shire. So let me see if I can just like walk out over here. But yeah, I kind of just want like the 3-hour versions of the movies. I don't really want the like 4-hour long ones. I guess they'll have them on DVD, but go back to watching DVDs. It's like smearing your eyes with Vaseline first. Doesn't look that great. Fortunately, I cannot fall off. Oh, look at this. It's just some lembas bread that's sitting here. Oh shit! Gimli's getting hit. Everybody's just standing there. They took him seriously when Gandalf said he'd handle it. All right, Gandalf, you do your thing. We'll just stand back here and watch you. We're also attentive. Try the lightning. He's glamdring while it's stunned. Okay. Most people gonna know what the name of Gandalf's sword is? I feel like they won't. That's what I was saying. You didn't even know Gandalf had a sword until the third movie. That's what I was saying before. It's like you could. I had liked in the Hobbit movies actually the fact that Gandalf was a little bit more proactive with the blade, because like he has it. He very like you see him wield it, but he doesn't do anything with it. I don't think. In Fellowship in the first movie, I feel like he has it out like when he's running through Moria, but outside of that, I don't think he actually uses it. I don't think we ever see him like actually do anything with it. think he got it at the same time when Bilbo got Sting. Next rewatch, you're gonna laser focus on Gandalf's sword, no homo. Sir McKellen wouldn't mind. See if I can heal myself.
Gandalf, take this.
Wait. Somebody got their ass handed to him. Who was that? Was that Legolas? What were you offering me, Aragorn? Somebody just got, like, shot. Hold on. I need to, like, collect my thoughts here. What? What did he give me? Did I even get anything? He's giving me, unless it's just like automatically popping into my inventory.
Take this.
Okay. Oh shit. Out of magic. I was starting to wonder if I needed something like from Aragorn, but I guess not. That's it, Tom Kane. Give it some feeling. Yeah, see, this adaptation, it even looks a little bit different in the in-game model, but like this cutscene version.
Fly, you fools! Gandalf, no!
This cutscene version looks like the typical Balrog that I usually see, which is just like kind of like devilish looking. It looks like a guy with horns.
We forged on, out of the dark depths of Moria, and soon we reached the Golden Wood, Lothlorien.
I like the, they did the, I wonder if like it's accurate to the book, because I remember in the Bakshi film that I just recently rewatched, he did the "Fly, you fools," like screaming it as he was falling down. So I wonder if that's how it happened in the book. But I do like the Jackson version better, where he kind of like gets tripped up and then he's like hanging off the edge. "Fly, you fools!" And he almost like whispers it, and then he just casts himself down into the darkness. I don't know. It's more dramatic with the live action film, I feel. Nice little swipe there. What was that? As opposed to just like falling and screaming, "Fly, you fools!" I don't know. I guess that's dramatic too, but it seems a little bit more atypical.
I've been here for many long years, but I remember the way to Coroscolothan, Tree City of the Elves.
Alright.
Elves!
Good for you.
Be at ease. I am Haldir of Lorien. I have been
Why is Sam getting all excited? He's already seen, we've been to Rivendell.
I could shoot you in the dark. Huh. Have no fear. The Lady Galadriel is expecting you. But the dwarf is not permitted on our land. But Elrond chose him. He's brave and faithful. Very well. But he must travel blindfolded.
I am no spy. I will not walk blind like a prisoner. My people do not serve the enemy.
This is our law.
I will go forward free.
A plague on dwarves and their stiff necks.
Hold. We will all.
I think that's more accurate. You're saying the hobbits are more like baby child size. Yeah, I think it's actually more accurate.
I will be content if Legolas shares my blindness.
But I am an elf. I am a kinsman here.
Shall we say a plague on elves and their stiff?
Aragorn's really tall.
The company shall all fare alike. Bind us all, Haldir.
So be it. I shall lead you safely to Corosgalothan, where Lord Celeborn and Lady Galadriel await you.
I think Gandalf was the tallest of the bunch, but still Aragorn is about as tall as Legolas.
The Grey set out with your company. Where is he now?
Alas, lady, Gandalf fell into shadow. He did not escape Moria.
In all the long years full of grievous tidings, these are the most evil. When escape seemed beyond us, he saved us, and he fell. We will hear the tale another day, for you are weary and heartsick. We will do what we can to help you, especially the one who bears the burden.
Your quest stands upon the edge of a knife. Stray even a little, and it will fail, to the ruin of all. Yet, hope remains, while all the fellowship is true.
Rest, and we will not speak of the road ahead for a while.
Until tomorrow. Oh. Still just sitting there, eh? Yeah, going back to the height thing with the Hobbits, I do think it's more accurate. I feel like the Peter Jackson films kind of struggled with getting the scale right, because they had to do a lot of film tricks in order to get them to, look relatively small, obviously, because, that whole cast of hobbits were normal-sized people, at least while they were on screen, and they had body doubles and stuff, but even, like, body doubles, when you get too tainted by the film's depiction, just because of how prominent it is and how, more visual it is, I think we sort of take it more as, like, the established look. But yeah, I think they kind of struggled with the height depictions with that one. Because even in the movie, it seems really inconsistent. Because sometimes, Frodo and the gang look, I don't know, maybe about like 4 feet or something like that. And then sometimes they look like really, really tiny. So it's just like a matter of the filming and the perspective and such. But I do think that they are supposed to be like really, really small, like almost knee height for people. I do want to say that by the time The Hobbit came out, filming techniques and stuff had progressed, because that was like in the 2010s or whatever. So, a decade of film techniques that had advanced, and CGI was more prominent, so you didn't have to rely on like camera trickery. So I feel like they were more consistent. Plus the whole thing with Bilbo and traveling with the dwarves, it's like he was with a bunch of other short people, so even though he was a little bit shorter than the rest of them, they were all like short. so you didn't quite notice it as much in that one either. But like, especially like standing next to Gandalf and stuff, they look like super, super tiny. But
Lothlorien.
yeah, you tell like,
Such beauty.
Gimli is supposed to be relatively small as well. Although here he looks kind of close to Boromir. I don't know, maybe Boromir is super short, but Gimli's pretty short. He's like a head or two smaller than some of the other guys, and all the hobbits are looks like 2 feet below him. So I don't know what their exact height is supposed to be, but they're pretty dang tiny.
The Lady Galadriel. It surprises me to say this, but she is fair beyond belief. Indeed, there is no one fairer in any land.
What was his gift? That he wanted like a kiss or something?
I do not feel too sure of this elvish lady and her purposes.
It's always angry.
Did you try these elven delicacies?
Boromir the
I've
Scathing.
never tasted anything like it. Imagine spending thousands of years perfecting your recipes. To think, Frodo, all of this, built in and upon great trees. It's marvelous, truly marvelous.
I wonder if I shall see any elf magic while we're here.
I don't know, probably.
The elves sing a lament for Gandalf. I share their grief.
Guess I can talk to him from behind.
There is no evil in this land, or its people, unless a man brings it here himself.
I don't know, that Galadriel, she's a little weird.
Rest, and we will not speak of the road ahead for a while.
Your quest stands upon the edge of a knife.
Okay. It's like speaking to you, forehead.
Here is the mirror of Galadriel. I have brought you here to look in it.
Why not just say, this is my mirror?
You will.
What will we see?
Things you desire to see, and things unbidden. Things that were, are, and may yet be.
I'll have a peek. There's only stars. Wait, what? It's Ted Sandyman cutting down all our trees. I'll cut him down. Oh, devilry. They've dug a Bagshot Road. They've run off my old gaffer. I have to go to the Shire.
Would you turn from Frodo's quest?
No.
Do you wish to
Let's see
look
boobies.
now, Frodo?
I will look. I see a land in shadows, and an
What
old
you most
man
desire,
looking
eh?
toward me.
And just Galadriel sitting there in the
No.
nude.
White robes. Saruman, there's the sea. A tall ship from the west, and a white fortress with 7 towers. Another ship with black sails and the emblem of a white tree. I
Can't see
a
any of this
great
shit.
battle, and an eye ringed with fire.
Oh
I
no!
know what you saw, for it is in my mind as well. But the enemy cannot hurt you here. This land is not preserved merely by singing or arrows. Behold, Nenya, the ring of adamant.
Nunya?
A ring Sauron cannot
Nenya.
rule unless you fail, and he gains the ring. We would be laid bare before him, yet, if you succeed, my power will diminish, and Lothlorien will fade.
Which do you choose, lady?
My love for my people is deeper than the sea, yet I would cast it all away rather than submit to Sauron. I wish you to destroy the ring.
I would give you the ring if you ask for it.
You would give me the ring freely? In place of the Dark Lord, you would set up a queen. And I shall not be dark, but beautiful and terrible as the morning and the night. All shall love me and despair.
I take it back. I don't want to give you the ring anymore.
I pass the test. I will diminish and go into the west. And remain Galadriel.
Lady Galadriel.
Okay.
You wear one of the rings of power.
It seems like such a weird aside.
See into your mind or the minds of others.
Nobody was curious
you had
about
not
that
tried.
whole spiel.
But I warn you not to. You would have to become far stronger and train your will to the domination of others. And then you would lose the one virtue that makes you more able to resist the ring than any of the wise and powerful. We will not speak more of it. Let us go.
The next day we said farewell to Lorien. Celeborn and Galadriel gave us boats of elven make, and we set out on the great river Anduin toward Mordor.
We get to see those giant statues. I don't think there's a whole lot left. The whole Lorien section was actually pretty brief.
Aragorn has been gone for some time. I hope his scouting goes well.
It is not Aragorn that concerns me, but you. You have a difficult path ahead.
Yes, I know what I should do, but I'm afraid of doing it.
And yet, do you suffer needlessly?
I know you wish me to bear the ring to Gondor, and it seems like wisdom, except for the warning in my heart.
What warning is that?
A warning against the easy path, against the refusal of my burden, and if it must be said, against trust in the strength and truth of the big people of the world.
Our strength has long protected your little shire.
I do not doubt the valor of Gondor, but what if it is not enough?
There is still hope that Gondor will not fall.
There is no hope while the ring exists.
Yes, the ring. We can use its power for good.
All that is done with the ring turns to evil. All can be corrupted. Some faster than others.
Frodo, Boromir, make ready. The orcs have built fortifications.
What would you have us do?
Wake the others and prepare to move out. Stealth may not serve us here. We may have to fight.
Think of my counsel, Frodo. It is all I ask of you.
Anduril. Alright. Been a while since we saved the Abyss fight. Thank God there's no like bullshit minigame in Lorien. That would have sucked. Something killed me offhandedly.
These elven boats are a wonder. I've never seen the like.
The Shire seems so far away. I knew the world was big. Not this big.
I must say, travel by boat is not to my liking.
I have a feeling we're being followed. But by what?
Did you miss some frustrating forced minigame? You know, there actually hasn't been any, but this seems like one of those games where there'd be like some bullshit that happens and then you die from like a shitty minigame and then you have to reload your save from, 20 hours ago or whatever. I can just see it happening. But it hasn't happened yet.
There is still hope that Gondor will not fall. The sooner we reach Anduin's end, the better. I care not for the number of goblins I have seen.
I don't really care for this many goblins.
These evil creatures may
Maybe if there was a
try to
few
march
hundred
to the
less.
north, but the elves of Lorien will stop them.
We'll need to clear this shore in order to port it to the boats. Gimli, Legolas, Boromir, I'll need your assistance.
Are these Uruks? Urukai? Delayed reaction dying. I already missed playing as Gandalf. Originally called Narsil, it was shattered in the battle with Sauron, reforged by elven smiths. Aragorn named it Anduril, Flame of the West. This was weird. Like right when they had entered Rivendell, they had reforged a Narsil, and like I don't remember if that was part of the original book. I don't feel like it was, but that was like a big thing when it came to Return of the King, because like it was on display. The elves had it on display, but Aragorn refused to, take it with him or anything. He didn't ask for it to be reforged until Return of the King, and that was like the big moment where he claimed his kinghood. His royal heritage. Because up until that point, he had, remained kind of hidden. But in this game, they just straight up gave it to him. I don't think they even asked him or anything. He didn't ask. They didn't ask. It's like, oh yeah, we reforged that sword for you. Here you go. Cool. Always up for a little floating bread. Oh shit. God, what's happening? Oh, good. I softened him up for you. Whoever got that kill. it's actually easier to execute those downward thrust kills in this game than it is in the EA Two Towers game. The game's combos are so frustrating. I don't know. Again, maybe it's an issue of like me not having all the combos unlocked or something, but yeah, playing that for a good 2 hours, not really enjoying my time. Oh. I was reading something about those games too. Apparently Peter Jackson.
The shore is clear. Let us retrieve our boats and continue on.
So I gotta go back. Peter Jackson didn't like EA. He didn't like working with them. There's a lot of, like, even in the... Hey, what's up, Ikiri? Thank you for that lurk. There's a lot of, I almost want to call it propaganda, but, like, a lot of, like, behind-the-scenes talk and a lot of, like, stuff right at the forefront. Like, at the beginning of the Two Towers game, you have, like, unlocked little documentary videos. They talk about how closely they worked with, you know, the filmmakers and everything and the actors and all that. But Peter Jackson said he tried to give them input on games and they, like, wouldn't listen to him at all. So when he was making his next big film, which was the King Kong movie, he said that, you know, I already have someone in mind to be making, you know, the video game adaptation of that, and it's not going to be EA. He actually opted for Ubisoft at the time, because he apparently played Beyond Good and Evil, and he liked it so much that he just wanted them to develop his future game.
This is my fault. That ring wraith mistook Sam for me. I must make amends.
No, Frodo! We must distract the creature while they rescue our comrade. Baruch Khazad!
I don't think so. I've actually been meaning to play it. There were several different versions. It came out at, like, right at that time where like consoles were sort of migrating to the next gen, like 7th gen, which would have been like PS3, Xbox 360. And maybe like the PS2 version or something of that game wasn't that great, but I remember hearing pretty good things about like the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version, the one that came out on the 7th gen platforms. A lot of people thought it was like really cool because it was like really minimalist and basically had no HUD, and it was really atmospheric or something. I don't know. Maybe it sucked. I'm not too sure, but I remember hearing good things about it at the time. It'd be kind of funny if like Peter Jackson was like, "Oh yeah, EA sucks, so I'm not working with them," and then I'm going to Ubisoft, and it's just like a big heap of shit. Which I don't know. Nowadays, Ubisoft is hard pressed to make a good game, in my opinion, but that's just me. What are we standing around for? I can't even interact with anybody. Okay. But it was like it was a first-person shooter game, that King Kong game. And it was mostly like exploring like the Skull Island and all that, and you know, I don't know what you do after the fact. I doubt there's like a city portion, although that would be weird. But I never played it. I remember seeing video clips of it. I do remember seeing it like on G4 and stuff, and I was like, oh, this game looks kind of cool. And I've always thought about getting it to try it out, but I've never actually done it, so I've got no clue if it like actually sucks or not. Oh, you're thinking of that? Oh, okay. No, that game was a piece of shit. I saw people play that one for like a joke. That game was like, I don't know, like a money laundering scheme or something. That was like a Kong Skull Island. Yeah, no, that was completely different. This was the one from like 2009 or something. I don't know. I saw clips of that Skull Island game that did not look. I mean, and they were charging like $50-$60 or something for it too. It was like outrageous, the quality of that, the sheer gall of those people to make that game. From like what I heard, I don't know. It didn't seem like there was any like major. You know, you hear about like all these games. We were just talking about the Gollum game and how I think that possibly like shut down the studio because it was so shitty that made it. That was last year. But I don't remember hearing like any major repercussions for that Kong game. And like, again, that looks, I don't know, that looks shady. That looks like something wasn't on the up and up. Stab his chest. Thanks, Frodo. I appreciate the help. Why are you the only one that's following me? Everybody else just like stood back at the camp. I don't even really know where I'm supposed to be going. This is where events are happening, so I'm just like walking this way, but it seems like there's quite an expanse. Trolls are fighting with the wolves. Oh, shit. I could plug a few arrows into them or something, though. Oh, the incline saved me. Oh, wow. I put just enough into him. You agree with Ubisoft? Completely soulless, not hopeful for Star Wars Outlaws. I'm not really looking forward to that either. I don't know. If I don't know, I'll probably look at like some gameplay. If it looks decent enough, I might pick it up because I like the world of Star Wars enough to probably give something a try. A lot of people ragging on those Jedi games, but in my opinion, that's ever since Disney took over, that's like the best piece of media, Star Wars related, that's come out, since the Disney acquisition. So much for the high ground. Yeah, the low ground is where it's at least with this game. It's over, Anakin. I have the low ground. Oh, shit. Where the hell are these wolves coming from? Ah! Oh, shit. Actually, I don't remember where the last save was. I don't think we've saved in a minute. Yeah, this game uses a lot of stock noises. I try not to call it out as often, but it's like when you hear a stock noise, you know it. It's like right from Sound Ideas. I always say, every time I hear one almost, I'm always like, all right, you can pull from, like if you got to pull a Sound Ideas stock noise, which I understand, nobody's going to do their own Foley if they don't have to. So yeah, it's been a long time since they're saved. But yeah, no one's gonna pull their own Foley if they have to. But maybe pull from like the second page. Like, okay, there's gotta be 100 different dog noises. Don't go for number 1. Maybe go for 24. Ubisoft, going back to that, boy, it's been a while since they've actually done something that I've been interested in. I used to love a lot of their games too. I mean, back in the day, the Assassin's Creed series was, one of my favorite things, one of my favorite series to pick up a game for and play. I mean, I was so hooked with that original one, and then everything with like the Ezio games. And, Far Cry, I remember a lot of people not liking Far Cry 5 at the time, but even that one was still like latter day Ubisoft, and I still love that game. I thought that one was great. I liked it a lot better than 4 and 3 actually. Something about like the small town America, but they rely too frequently on just like their own formulas, which happens a lot. We were talking about Warner Brothers stuff, and Warner Brothers always puts that same combat style into all their games, which is, it's good. I understand why they do it, but also at the same time, it's just like, once you play it, it's not really. Shit, I'm gonna die again. There's not really a whole lot of variety to it. It's the same shit over and over again. And with a lot of the Ubisoft stuff, especially with like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed in particular, they just always got that same open world feel where there's these broad expanse of levels, and then you have to go to the the lookout point and
We'll need to clear
expand the map, and then you mark all the side quests and stuff, and drudge through all of it. It's like the same thing over and over and over again. So once you play it for a game of that style for 10 years, you're kind of done. Last Far Cry was the malaria one. That was which one was that? Was that 3? I'd gotten New Dawn because I had co-op. I think that was the last one I got. Although Primal was super cheap, and that one looked sort of interesting. But I bought it, but I never installed it or played it, so I actually don't know if it's good or not. But I don't know, the concept seemed kind of interesting, so I figured one of these days, it was only like $5, I don't really feel bad about like not playing it yet. Oh, it was 2, wasn't it? Yeah. Gotta keep getting the medicine. I had to sneeze. Yeah. 2 was still fun though. I remember liking 2. I don't think I ever played the original Far Cry. I only played 2, 3. I watched a bit of 4 and decided it wasn't something that I wanted to play. But I got 5. I actually liked it quite a bit. And then I got New Dawn, which the story for that was like super shitty, but I got it because of the co-op aspect. And I didn't even end up playing it for all that long with the person I had gotten it for co-op for. Like that they encountered a soft locking glitch, 61%. Oh, that sucks. I don't run into soft locks often, but I don't know. Every time something like weird happens, sometimes I'm kind of like suspicious of a soft lock taking place. I know with a lot of older games, especially like PC stuff that wasn't super polished, that could end up happening. Or like those immersive sim games where you can do a lot of shit. It's the famous Morrowind, the thread fate has been severed or whatever. Because they reload the game. But if you're not vigilant with your saves, it could end up screwing you over. Block him, Gimli. Plug in some arrows into him. Look how fast that was.
The shore is clear. Let us retrieve our boats and continue on.
lot of people said that the new Prince of Persia game that came out earlier this year was decent. That's a Ubisoft thing, but I don't know. It didn't exactly look like my style game. One of my streaming friends was playing it for a bit, and I was watching him play it for a minute. He only played it once, though. So, and usually when he plays games like that he likes or that are decent, he'll play it multiple times. If he doesn't like something, he only plays it like once. He was saying it was all right. He said it was decent, but he did not pick up that game again, at least not on stream. So, I don't know. He thinks it might not be all that great. Talking about right when we started talking about Ubisoft, the Beyond Good and Evil, which apparently was the game that Peter Jackson had played, convinced him that he wanted to work with Ubisoft for his next movie video game adaptation. But what the hell ever happened to the second one? It's like they had that thing at E3. What was that? Oh my god. I don't know if the game is like loading poorly or what. Apparently these orcs have some sort of like time bending spell. But anyway, they showed off that, that cinematic trailer, which looked great. It was, completely CGI pre-rendered and everything, but, it looked like a fun little world. But, nothing ever came out of that, and, for a while they were promising, it's still being worked on and everything. I don't know if anyone ever came out and said, oh no, that got canned. But, that trailer dropped. God, I want to say that was like the start of like the 8th generation. Or like getting into it, it was still like 7th gen territory. And we've gone clear beyond that by this point. So I don't know what the hell happened to that game. I think from what they were showing, it was supposed to be something of a prequel or some such like that. But never played Beyond Good and Evil. I always sort of had intended to. I've gotten like several different versions of the game. I got an original Xbox version, which I wanted to play at some point, but I was constantly getting disc read errors. I want to say it was probably my Xbox was unable to read it. I think the laser might have just been going out by the time, I had bought it, but I did end up doing the soft mod with my Xbox, and then I think I actually got it onto the console, so I can just play it right off of the hard drive now. But you gotta find a good time to like play these games. I think that one's relatively long, so haven't exactly been making room for it. Maybe sometime this year. I do think it was part of the backwards compatible lists with the Xbox Series X though, so might be able to do it that way too, and actually have it, instead of artificially boost the resolution via the RetroTink. I might just actually be able to play a 4K version of it. I had heard, they're supposed to be doing an announcement tomorrow, I think. I had heard that they're going to unveil a portable console. It actually, and I saw like a little image of it. It actually looks a lot like a Steam Deck. That's just rumors and stuff. I don't know if that's actually what they're doing, but I think everybody's been doing. The Sony did their State of Play not that long ago. I don't know if Nintendo was either planning on doing something or they did something. I don't really pay attention to Nintendo much, but I think they were doing something soon, and like Microsoft is supposed to have some big announcement. But I think it's tomorrow. There's been a lot of bad talk about Microsoft. rumor heard is they are chucking Sega and going multi-platform. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Microsoft of late. So I doubt if they have got an announcement. It's probably not going to be that. I highly doubt that it's going to be like, okay, we're not in the console business anymore. But yeah, I can't imagine. I don't know. It's just really weird. No company that's ever pulled out of, the console business has ever come back. Sega and Atari, and those are probably like the two major ones. I can't think of any. I mean, there's been a lot of startup stuff like the Ouya, but it's not like that ever lasted beyond the one console. But I think who's their head of game development or whatever, their gaming department, Phil Spencer. I think he apparently made a statement relatively recently where he's like, no, we're still making consoles. That's still going to be a thing. I don't know, maybe it wasn't a statement. I think it was like an internal meeting or something like that where he was talking with investors. He's like, nah, we're still making consoles. Yeah, the controllers, especially, I wasn't always like, a lot of people loved Microsoft Xbox controllers, and a lot of people talk about like the 360 being like the greatest controller of all time. I never really felt that way, but I've actually their latest controllers for the Series, the Xbox One and the Series X controllers are actually really good. Got a nice weight, nice size, design aspect to them. I've actually really enjoyed those controllers. Much more so than I did the DualShock 4. DualShock 4 was a mess. God, I hate that controller so much. Piece of shit. I really like the DualShock 5, though. I think the PlayStation 5's controller is really good. If I could use it more easily with my PC, I probably would. The Nokia N-Gage. I don't think Nokia didn't last in the console business too long. I'm not counting the ones that came in for a half minute and then pulled out. The ones that made the multiple consoles, that would probably just be like Atari and Sega, the only ones that were in it for a minute, a good minute, and then pulled out. They haven't come back in. Well, I guess Atari tried, but can you really call that a try? That weird little deck thing that they had that wasn't really a console. Series X's controller is your favorite. Yeah, I really like it a lot. I play it with all my PC games. Brain feels a lot better on the asymmetrical sticks. I could do both. I don't really mind one way or the other. But it's something about the ergonomics and the feel of a controller. I've always used PlayStation's DualShocks, for the longest time. And for a good while, too, I was using the DualShock 3. I had a little thing called Scarlet Crush Productions, which would mimic the signal, I guess, that the Xbox 360 produced, and would mask a DualShock controller in its place. So all I had to do when I had that set up was just plug in a DualShock 3 with a USB cable, and I was good to go. But I was still using a cable, and USB cables often stick out and stuff. Oh, that's Legolas. No wonder. I keep shooting him. I'm like, why isn't this guy dying? But once I finally got a wireless receiver, which I first got with the Xbox One, I haven't gone back. I don't like having to recharge the batteries, but the controllers actually last quite a while before they go dead. I probably get with as much as I play games, which isn't that much. The way I say that, it sounds like I play a lot, but it ain't much. But I probably get a month of gameplay time out of those controllers. Let's make a save. Again, though, if there was a way where I could get the DualShock 5 to work wirelessly with PC, I'd enjoy that too. I really like the DS5. I think they did a huge turnaround with that controller. Again, the DualShock 4 was just so shitty for me. Lightweight, felt cheap. The big, massive light on it just drained the battery in like 2 hours, literally. You go wireless with that thing, 2 hours, it was already on its last limb. It's just a piece of crap, in my opinion. I don't know if you're watching Ikiri, but sorry, I know you like that controller, but at least for the way I play games, it's not good. It's not good for me.
Frodo, I'll hold off the orcs. Climb to the top. I'll follow when I can.
Tempted to get an Elite controller, but they seem so overpriced for what they do. Yeah, there's been a couple times where I've done a double take on those, and I've kind of like thought, I wouldn't mind maybe popping a 100 or whatever. I forget how much I think they're more than that. They're like 150 or something like that. I do really like those controllers, but I got 2 Series X controllers with my Series X console bundle that I got when I got that. So it's like I already got 2 of those. Plus, I still got the Xbox One controller, and it's like I can't imagine that they're like that much better. I can't justify the purchase. Maybe if I had lost those controllers or they broke or something like that, maybe I'd get one of those Elite ones. But yeah, I don't know that I could justify putting that kind of money down when I've got perfectly good controllers otherwise. It costs like half the console there. Good lord. Yeah, I think last time I looked at them and maybe they were on sale or something like that, but I think they cost like $150, I think. They're customizable and they've got like weights that you could take out or something. It kind of reminds me of like those customizable like computer mice. And you could adapt you could change out like the buttons and stuff. There's a lot of different shit that goes into it, and they look real interesting. And I'd love to kind of like play around with one, but I don't see it being worth the price. It's just too much. When again, I've got like perfectly good controllers. Who sees me? I wasn't even aware we could like shimmy across. Oh shit. Bit of a predicament here. Can't catch me. Oh shit. I was kind of hoping that was like Legolas. I'm like, oh thank God. He's like running towards me like he was gonna save me or something. I could put on the ring, but I don't know if I can slip by these guys, but just, okay, now I might do it now. It's an ass load of enemies. Oh. There they are. Aragorn looking real smug there. He's playing as Aragorn again. All right. I do wonder if they're going to have anything else major to announce. If their big announcement, Microsoft's tomorrow is a portable console. I mean, that'd be nice, I guess. It wouldn't be something I would need. I've got a Steam Deck, which I like a lot, but even though I like it, I don't have a ton of use for it. I mostly just use it to like play games in bed, and like nothing extreme either. I've got Elden Ring on there, and I've played that every now and again, but that drains the battery pretty damn quick. I do like a lot of like the indie style games that aren't as demanding. So more stuff along those lines. But it's like, yeah, if Microsoft has like a version of that, it's like it wouldn't really do me any good. Yeah, that's kind of the thing too. It's not, despite it being, like a build as a portable console, it is not really. If I can't put it in my pocket, I don't exactly consider that a portable console. Even stuff, and I like the Vita, and I used to take the Vita with me, and I'd put it in my pocket too. But even the Vita was like pretty damn big. I had a 3DS XL, and that thing was massive. I did not like carrying that thing around. But yeah, something like the original PSP size would be nice. One of the greatest things was the Game Boy Color, like about that size. But I understand that as demanding as a lot of these games are, that's not exactly probably preferred. It comes closer to shoot at me closer. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed portable consoles, being able to fit inside my pocket. It's like with the Steam Deck, I've taken it with me, like when I've gone out before, but it's like I've got the carrying case and everything, and that's more like if I'm going, I don't know, to like a family member's house or something like that, and I'm staying over there. It's not like something I'd, if I was going running errands or something and I was expected to wait somewhere, it's not like I'd bring it with me because the thing's too goddamn big. Like ever since the Steam Deck came out, though, there's been a lot of different companies that have tried to like make something along those lines, which I find is kind of weird because I can't see it like there being like a huge demand for the Steam Deck anyway. I mean, the thing sold pretty well, but it's still like a bit of a niche market. It's not like something everybody needed. Even the Switch that sold like hotcakes. It's like, no one's really attempted to do like a Switch style thing. Everybody wanted to do something more along the lines of the Steam Deck when that came out. Oh my God! You killed that tree.
It is time for Anduro to strike.
Doesn't seem like a good idea. When Nvidia had come out with the Shield in the original one, they made another Shield and it looked like really shitty. I don't remember what that was. It was like a controller that you could slap onto your phone or something. That one was kind of shit, but like the original Shield, I'd always wanted something like that because that looked relatively portable, and could play some pretty demanding PC style games. And for I had missed the boat on it, and I was kind of kicking myself. Eventually, I ended up getting a Win GPD2, which I kind of liked. I got some use out of it, but it wasn't like the greatest thing or anything like that. Boy, if I like stick like right at the neck here, I don't think it could hit me. It's like that flame breath only comes out of the mouth. He's not doing anything else.
The winged steed weakens.
You should go now, Frodo, while you have the chance.
I won't abandon you to the Nazgul.
Aye, on guard. It returns.
Easy peasy. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet!
Still got something else going on here. But yeah, the WinGPD2 actually ended up being a little bit more pocket size. It was still, it's like a little bit bigger than I think the 3DS XL. So I still wasn't like fond of carrying it around, but still it was more portable than the Steam Deck. But yeah, it's like we've gotten away from the size, form factor, and convenience of it. Now it's just like about running the best stuff. But I gotta say, I was gonna say nobody really copied the concept of the Switch. I think the Switch is to blame because the Switch isn't like pocket sized or anything like that. And I think the Steam Deck mostly came out, kind of like from a genesis of the idea of the Switch, that being kind of like what a portable quote unquote console is nowadays. It's like a game device that you can take with you that can play relatively demanding games, but it's not small by any means. It's just like you can sort of just take it with you. No cables or anything. I think maybe I'm supposed to shoot this guy or something. I don't know. I'll get back up on here. Normally the auto target is enough, but I'm wondering if I'm maybe supposed to do something with the... Shit. That didn't exactly work. Do something with the first person view mode, because it seems to be taking a minute to try and get rid of this guy. There's a portion where he kind of like, because when he's circling around, I don't think I could get him too well, but there's a portion where like he flies over the length of the landmass. Maybe that might be the easiest to tag him. Got him or not. There's something down there. An item of some sort.
Now, Legolas, finish the foul beast.
I got him. Okay, here we go. It's like, I bet the game might have crashed. I don't know. I'm just loading up a cutscene, I guess. I like the little flute while the arrow's flying. Hey, way to go,
Fellowship
Legolas.
of the Ring has triumphed. They have brought low the flying ring wraith. They have taken Frodo in safety to the very edge of Mordor. So the Fellowship has succeeded. Yet I see the ring-bearer alone as he crosses into the Dark Land. Yet, not all alone.
Ah, that sneaky son of a bitch Gollum. Oh, that was it. Not much of a lead-in to the next game. Not that there was a next game, but still, it wasn't much of a lead-in regardless. But I guess that was it. Man, there's not even any like credits music or anything. It's just silent. Usually you have to lower this or mute it. Or it could have been, thank you, or it could have been like the game maybe didn't load anything up. I don't know. Still, that's it for Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, I guess. I don't think this game has like any extras or anything like that. It's pretty much what you get is what you got. One of those type of games. Again, they were planning on doing a sequel, and I don't know what exactly happened. When I read up about it, you know, it was going to be an adaptation of The Two Towers. They were going to call it Treason of Isengard, which apparently was the original working title for Two Towers when Tolkien was writing it. Thank you. So it was going to have a little nod to that. And apparently it was going to be a similar type of gameplay, action-adventure, and the primary characters that you'd play as were Gimli and Aragorn and Legolas. And apparently there was going to be like a secret character or something like that. And they had shown off something. I think it was at an E3 maybe that they had like a little demo going on for it. But for whatever reason, Vivendi just ended up canning it. They were working on it for a couple of years, and then they released an announcement saying something to the effect where the Two Towers game that we're working on is not up to our standards as of yet. And as opposed to letting the team continue to work on it, they just said, and we're going to be canceling this one. So unfortunately, we never got another action-adventure game in this series. Vivendi, again, we had discussed it in the first stream, but they were working on other games because they had the contract with the Tolkien estate, and they had done the Hobbit game, which looked weird to me. I never played it, but you know I saw it a lot. It looked a lot more cartoony and lighthearted in comparison to this one. And then they had done an RTS game. I think it was called like War in Middle Earth or something, the RTS game for PC. And then they did the Lord of the Rings Online, the MMO, which, as we discovered yesterday, still got an expansion as recent as like 2021. It's astounding. So that was definitely a moneymaker for them. I think Vivendi ended up getting merged with Blizzard Activision. So I guess they're still maintaining it. But yeah, that game is still running. So definitely that was the most successful of the lot. But that was it. Those are the only Lord of the Rings games that they made. And yeah, unfortunately, I would have liked to see, this game again. Wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it. And I would have liked to have seen a Two Towers adaptation. Because again, I was playing that the EA one, and maybe we'll check it out at some point. I think if I check it out, I'm probably going to play through the rest of it on my own just to have everything unlocked to make the progression a little smoother. But yeah, that it's not my type of game. Just short levels, pure combat, waves and waves and waves of enemies, and like shitty combos. It's mostly and I'm not exactly opposed. It's not my favorite type of gameplay, but I'm not opposed to that type of game. But something about the execution of it, I do not like. I don't like the control scheme in that game, and the fact that like stuff like your sub weapons and your throwable weapons or your bow and arrow and stuff doesn't register when called on. Yeah, kind of off-putting for me. But with this one, it feels like a fun little adventure game. It's pretty, I don't know. It seems like they're gearing up for it to be kind of bigger than it was, like at the start of it. Like when you're doing the Shire, there's like all the side quests and stuff. That goes away real quick. Your friends loved it, but they had 3 brothers to play with. Well, yeah, I guess that was part of it too. There's the multiplayer aspect. I do remember, actually, let me see. Does it support up to 2 players? It should say on the back. No, not this one, actually. I remember playing it with friends, but I don't remember ever doing a multiplayer. Yeah, it just says 1 player on the back. So yeah, it didn't even have like a multiplayer, which is weird. Maybe that was I think that might have been Return of the King, might have had a more co-op oriented thing with it. But, yeah, I don't know. I just had it next to my TV because I was just playing it a second ago. Earlier today, a few minutes ago. But again, with this one, I don't know what the whole situation was with it, if maybe they've run out of time for things, but it's like at the beginning of the game, it seemed a little bit like it was going to be bigger than it actually ended up being. It was a little bit more broad and open. You had the whole side quest feature, but you know, that was only in the Shire section. Once you get past the Shire, it's like all the whole side quests and all that. It didn't really take place. You just had like one singular objective and you had to follow it. The levels were still kind of like broad and open, and you know, they could be a bit expansive. And I did like the variety in the levels. I mean, granted, you could argue that they were all just like mountainous terrains, I suppose, but they covered a fair amount of stuff. You know, I like seeing the Mines of Moria and climbing up to Weathertop and all that stuff. I thought that was a nice little variety for the game. And it, you know, you had the ability to play as 3 characters, which basically had different styles to them. You know, if you play as Frodo, it's more about sneaking around. If you play as Aragorn, it's pretty much pure action. If you play as Gandalf, you get the spells and everything. So there were some cool aspects to the gameplay as well. You know, not really deep, not a whole lot of deep gameplay going on here, but still fun enough for what it was, in my opinion. I don't know if, you know, somebody that's not a fan of Tolkien or Lord of the Rings would pick this up and get a whole lot of enjoyment out of it. I think part of it is seeing, you know, a different adaptation of the novel. So there's that like sort of aspect to it. But, you know, if somebody was just like trying to, for an action adventure game, it's probably not that great. But yeah, part of the charm is like the whole Lord of the Rings aspect of it, of course. So I think maybe some people might like that. But yeah, I don't know. I still enjoyed it. I think it was a budget game at the time, so I'm not really complaining too hard. I'm sure I bought it for something cheap, like $10 or whatever. So yeah, I'm fine with that. But yeah, for what it was, it is good enough, I think. And it's a shame that we never got to see a sequel to it. But at least I guess we got the Two Towers and the Return of the King EA games, so it sort of fills a bit of a void. If you want sort of like a Lord of the Rings trilogy adaptation. Although those are more less the books and obviously more the New Line Cinema series of films. So that's what you get. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, again, this game has been on my mind for years. Every once in a while I'll think about it. So I'm glad that I got to play it again. And I probably won't play it again for, you know, another 2 decades. Who knows? Or maybe at all. Now that we have this like recording, I feel like now that I'm like recording stuff and like uploading it, streaming these games, I have a much better recollection of them. And I tend not to feel like going back and playing stuff again, because instead of recalling on my memory, I could just pull up my videos and say, oh yeah, that's what that game was like. Existential crisis time. I don't know. Yeah, I do it less often because there's so many games out there. I'd rather play new stuff. You know, I got a lot of friends, and of course, you know, there's like a lot of streamers and stuff when they're doing speedruns, and they just play the same game over and over and over and over again. Or they just go back to their favorites because, you know, they like games for one reason or another, and then just continually play the same thing over and over again. I'd prefer new experiences, although I've said it multiple times while I've been streaming the past couple months, but I'm getting like nostalgia feelings and wanting to replay games from like sort of more of my teenage years now. I don't know why it is, but I'm sort of getting like a hankering for some of those games that I played all those years ago. So I'm thinking this year is probably going to be heavy on the replays. But still, would rather, I guess I should say, play new stuff that I haven't done at all, or games that maybe I started at some point, similar to Earthbound, where I started it a while back and never finished it, and now I go back and finish these games. I want something new. I want to do new stuff, but we'll throw in some nostalgia games in the mix every now and again. Also, same there. Same here. Glad there's classics from consoles you love and never got to play. Cozy, but new at the same time. Yeah, new experience. Doesn't need to be like a brand new game. Although, God, last year I wanted to revisit and I wanted to go back and play, a lot of these older games, but there's just so much new stuff coming out, and I haven't. Probably the most I streamed was, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 years ago, where I was streaming like 5 days out of the week or more. 5 to the full week, just like stream after stream after stream, and I was streaming tons and tons of stuff. But in the last year and this year, I've streamed maybe, I don't know, 3 nights a week or something like that. And it's been pretty steady for me, but at the same time, obviously, it's not giving me as much time to go through these games. Although I will say, I think I've been streaming longer, so maybe the hours are the same. I don't know. When I was streaming like every night, I'd probably do maybe like 2 hours for a stream. And now that I'm streaming like 3 nights a week, I'm probably like doing, sometimes I'll, on average, I'll probably do like 4-hour streams or something. 4 or even go up to 5 hours, depending on the game. So, I don't know. Maybe it balances out. But, yeah, there's plenty of stuff. And last year I bought a bunch of new games, and I think that took up most of the streams for last year. But this year there's not a whole lot, and I'm kind of thankful for that. This month, I make this disgusted sound, but, I should be happy that there's something I'm interested in. Depending on if it gets a midnight release, I might be playing Tomb Raider tomorrow. For some reason, I don't think it's going to, because I just don't see it being like a big thing where they're going to drop it at midnight, but that's going to be new. And then end of the month, we're getting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I'm going to be doing on stream. So, there's a couple new things right off the bat. I'm kind of hoping that there's not going to be a whole lot else after that, because I do want to go back and play a lot of these older generation games, stuff that I haven't played. I just got in battle for Naboo today, and I'm kind of excited to play that. I want to do that. I was talking about maybe doing something else Star Wars, since we just got through the Rogue Squadron series, and that's a Factor 5 game. It's not technically Rogue Squadron, but it's in the very, very much the same vein as the Rogue Squadron games, so I think that's probably going to be the next Star Wars one that I do. But, I'm looking forward to, I've never played that game before, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And again, there's just been a ton of games. I late last year, I went around all my shelves and I pulled out, 5 or 6 games from every console that I owned and said, I'm going to stream these games this year. So I'm still committed to doing that. And, I've been getting through them. I actually knocked out quite a bit of the GameCube since we did the Rogue Squadron stuff, and we're working through our Super Nintendo, having done Super Mario RPG and Earthbound and everything. So I'm doing the rounds. I think I'm steadily getting stuff done. Also get the Lord of the Rings floppy disk game. Is that the kind of like choose your own adventure, where you have to like type in the prompts and you have to be very specific, otherwise the game's not going to know what to do? I think I'm good on that. I remember watching a streamer do that, and his ultimate goal was to smoke weed with Gandalf, and he did it. I think he stopped it right after that. But that was like the goal. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun playing these old things, and hopefully we'll get to do more this year. I'd rather do a lot more old stuff and get through kind of like my backlog than play new games. But when a new game drops, it's like I gotta hop on it, because I don't want to get like spoiled on stuff or anything like that too. So, or just strike while the iron's hot and get a new experience while it's new. I kind of hate, like, even though I might save a little bit of money or something, I kind of hate playing like new games, quote unquote, like after like a year after launch or something that's like not as fun about it. I don't know, especially if it's like something really big and I got a lot of friends playing it. It's like, I kind of feel like I missed the boat or something. So if there's something new, I'm gonna have to hop onto it when it's, you know, brand new these days, as opposed to waiting on it. That's just how it goes. Anyway, we're not completely done tonight. This only ended up taking us about 2 hours to beat, so we're gonna wrap up Fellowship of the Ring. Good game for what it was. But yeah, very jank and still very flawed, but I still had fun with it. But yeah, we're going to move on to, boy, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to move on to Battle for Naboo. I haven't even tested it yet, so who knows? The battery might be dead. Or I might move on to the movie game I said I was probably going to do, which I think I might do, but I got to switch over to the Xbox for that. So I think what we're going to do is BRB for a minute. I gotta go grab some more water. I gotta switch the cables out. Hopefully it doesn't negate my whole mic setup, because that is always a pain in the ass when that happens. But yeah, I think I'm gonna switch over to the Xbox, and we're gonna check out a movie game, which was another game that I played in my teenage years, and I don't know if it's gonna be fun or not, but stick around, stay tuned. I'll be right back, and yeah, we will get on to something else here.